Hello, hello. So today let's talk about why your neck and shoulder pain does not go away even after rest. Now, if you've ever rubbed your neck and shoulder area at the end of the day and thought, why is this painful? Why is this area painful? I barely did anything today. I was just resting. Well, you're not alone, and you're not definitely not broken, right? So, in fact, persistent shoulder and neck tension is one of the most common symptoms that you find in high achieving, overstretched, or overworked moms. And this pain is present even after you've had rest, even after you have had the full night's sleep, even if you've had the weekend off or you're on a holiday. Now, the truth is, the rest or taking time away from work does not just fix the tension or that stress around your neck and shoulder, because that's coming from an overload from your posture, from your nervous system. So let's break this down and let's look at each of these components and discover why your shoulders and neck area stay tight and what can you really do about it. All right. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, I have a few strategies that I use. Some of them are easy lifestyle modifications, some exercises, some tips and tricks that I have used for my own self in my pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, when I say adrenal fatigue, those of you are familiar would know there are lots and lots of symptoms. However, there were two that I had were low energy levels and brain fog or lack of focus. And when you have these two, it's so difficult to get through the day, leave alone managing your aches and pains. Anyway, I just say it's difficult. It's not impossible because I've been on the other side and I've come out here trying to help you with my professional expertise and my personal experience put together. So let's get into the topic for today because, hey, we are moms, we are busy people, right? So, the topic, in case you missed it earlier, is we're going to talk about why your neck and shoulder tension or pain not go away even after rest. So, when you have the tightness or the achiness around your neck and shoulder area, specifically this shoulder area here, we try and think, what is it? What's happening? But have you ever thought about it that this tightness or this stiffness or this tension around your shoulder area may actually be your body's way of protecting you, right? So when you are stressed, when you're you're overloaded or you're rushing around, your body shifts into a low level protective mode. Your nervous system tells your muscles to stay slightly switched on. So when you're resting, they are not able to switch off, especially around the neck and shoulder area. If you look at somebody who's stressed, who's angry, this is the first posture you see, right? So when you're angry, you're like this. So you see how you sort of scrunch your shoulders up and you have this tightness around your neck and shoulder area. So even when you are stressed and overloaded, it's the same sort of a posture that we get into. So even when you're resting, the muscles are in a guard. Your muscles are sort of guarding the area. They never got the memo to actually relax or to stand down. And this tension around your neck and shoulder area, specifically this area, starts to become your new normal. And that is why even after a night's rest or even after you have not really done much in the day, you still wake up with that tightness or you feel like you're carrying a heavy load around your shoulders. Now, another thing that happens is when you are sitting, say you are not doing anything or have a workload that is quite light compared to your usual, if you're sitting all day, it tends to irritate or compress those nerves that are running through your neck and shoulder area. So let me explain this. So when you sit for long hours at your, say, your desk or you're driving or you're scrolling, or if you have younger kids, you're holding your kids all the like carrying and holding your kids or babies, you tend to over a period of time, if you're not careful, two things can happen. Firstly, those long hours of sitting can add to that stresses on your cervical spine. Secondly, in order to be carrying the load, especially when, say, you're driving or you're holding your baby or your children, younger children, you tend to get into a slumped or a slouch posture. When that happens, you might go into a forward head posture. So this is neutral. This is a forward head posture where you're poking your head out. In order to balance this poked out head, you need to round your shoulders because obviously you need to balance that head over your shoulders and your torso. So now this can irritate the nerves that are exiting your cervical spine, and these nerves in the upper to mid cervical spine, so from your hairline to the middle of your neck, are responsible for headaches, dizziness, heaviness in your head, etc. Those from the mid to lower cervical spine will lead to heaviness around your shoulder, arms, forearms, even in your fingers, and maybe down your shoulder blade as well. Now, excuse me. So now that nerve compression itself will tell the muscles that they need to brace, and obviously that bracing action or that tightening action will lead to more stress or more tension in the muscle, which will lead to more tightness. So there's a vicious circle that goes on. And basically, the rest, obviously, it helps, but it's not going to fix that. It's not going to break that vicious cycle that's going on. Now, sometimes, okay, stretching is very important, but sometimes what happens is only stretching will not help when the root cause is not flexibility. So you might stretch your neck, you might feel good about it, and this is a big one because if your root cause of your neck and shoulder tightness or pain is, say, nerve compression, like we discussed, or a poor posture, like we also discussed, or that stress that is activating that whole cycle we were talking about, or poor spinal alignment, then stretching is only going to pull on an already irritated system. So you don't need to really stretch more. Stretching definitely has its place as one of a very useful tool that I talk about. However, in this scenario, you don't need to stretch more. You just need to reset that load and calm the nervous system. Now, there are a lot of other things that I want to talk about, but on this topic, but then the video will get too long. So what I have done is I have a blog with the same name, which is called Why Your Neck and Shoulder Tension Isn't Going Away Even After Rest. I will leave a link to the blog in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. And in that blog, you will find much more details on what I've been talking about nerve pain, stress, how mental stress can manifest as physical stress, etc. And it also has one video that is related to this topic, which is going to help you. So, and yes, it talks about poor posture and that forward head posture, rounded shoulders as well. Now, if your pain just isn't going away, what do you do about it? Now, I have a free guide that I have written on what's it called? How to avoid neck and shoulder pain when working from home. Now, it takes you through the different checkpoints that you can sort of tick off when you're working from home and you want to avoid that neck shoulder tension or pain. So I will leave that free guide in the blog that I just told you about. If you are not able to find the blog or for some reason you can't go around looking for it, especially on Instagram in my bio, leave me a message or drop a comment below and I will send it across to you. Alrighty, so have a look at that free guide that I have for you. That'll give you a few couple of quite useful, however, very simple to implement strategies to avoid that neck and shoulder tension. Alrighty, I hope this was useful for you. If you have any questions, any comments on this topic, let me know. Just drop them in the comments below and I will address those for you. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.